Hello everybody, I'm excited and I hope you are too, because today I'm gonna show you 10 more satisfactory building techniques that can make a build like this look something like this. So without further dilly-dallying, let's get to it. I have already showed you how to make the perfect corner and beams vertically, but I forgot to show it horizontally. So let's do that right now. On the beam you want the corner, you're gonna have to notch in a pillar. And you have to do the same on the other side, but you have to nudge that one half a meter out. That way it's gonna snap perfectly into place. When you connect them, don't forget to put your beam into the free roam setting, or else it will not align properly. There we go. Then it's just a matter of deleting your old scaffolding and placing one new one right here. And then it's just a matter of nudging it back in. But before you do that, you need to put the building mode back to default to make sure it's completely straight. And there you have it. Your first perfect corner. The thing is, we're gonna have to do that again on the other side. So, nudging it into place. Perfect. And the other one. But slightly offset, half a meter. We take this, free roam. There you go. Delete the scaffolding. Put a new scaffolding. And simply just nudge it into place. There you go. See, now we have the perfect corners, but we can make this even better. Because right now there's two pieces and I only want one. So what I'm gonna do is put scaffolding on the sides. And then just put a pillar in between them. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna put a pillar in between them and just nudge it into place. There you go. Now there's one less part, but it's completely straight. It's perfect. Sometimes when you're building your factory and you use beams as decoration, it can be hard to put signs on there because they don't align perfectly, which is really annoying. But there is a fix, because signs align perfectly on pillars. And pillars connect perfectly on beams. So by using a bit of scaffolding, we can get our signs onto our pillars with no issues. And it looks so good. I'm sure there's a ton of creative things you could do with that. Nudge in this game is a godsend. You can take pretty much anything you can build and then you can nudge it a meter to half a meter. This is half a meter. But what if I told you that we can actually nudge the half of that? So just 25 centimeters. This is something I learned not long ago from a friend called Van TS. I like to call it the TS method. The way signs snap to each other. We can align one perfectly with our foundation, and herefrom we can snap a road barrier to the sign. And from there we can just put our foundations on it like this, you know. And there you have it. We just half nudged a half nudge. But the coolest thing is that you can literally do it up as well. You can do it in any direction you want. As long as you can put a sign on it and connect the road barrier to that sign, you can nudge. I mean, look at that. Tiny increments. It's gonna be so useful for making detail. I'm really excited to see what kind of things you guys can cook up with this. It's just so cool. Speaking of cool, have you ever used the back of signs as a detail? Because I like to do that constantly. I put it on all my builds almost. I just find them so versatile and they fit in pretty much anywhere. For example, here we have a merger, right? And I don't like looking into the gaping hole of nothing. So I take my sign, turn it on the wrong side, and then use it to block the hole. It's so neat. And it works even better if you make the color match. But now that we're on the topic of filling in merger holes, there's other techniques I like to use, like for example using this beam support. just like that. They snap really well to themselves, and there you go, like a little bit rounded and less detailed. But if you paint it, you know, it's also a pretty good alternative. So now we have two different ways of closing off the hole of death, but there's actually a third one. I like to use pillars. Yep, that's right. If you put them on their side and like clip them into it, it fits perfectly. It actually closes up two holes. You can't see the other one right now because we have a sign there. So yeah, that is 3 different methods to close up the merger. But I think the sign by far has the most detail. And I like that one better. So just in general, the back of signs are cool. It can be so annoying when you're building your factory, but all of a sudden, you can't place a foundation somewhere because there's already a foundation. And here I thought there was supposed to be soft clipping in this game. But it's fine, because there is a workaround. If we take a blueprint designer and then grab the part that we needed to use and make it into a blueprint, just gonna call it something stupid like corner thingy. That's good. Now we made it into a blueprint. We can basically do anything we want with it because blueprints have a higher clipping tolerance. Look, now we can place it anywhere we want, as many times as we want, because we made it into a blueprint. The only thing this does not work on are the machines. Machines cannot be made into blueprints and then notched into each other. But that's fine. We just want to use it for detailed bits. And there you go. I've used this before on smaller things like this, for example. This is just a bunch of beams that I have clipped into each other using the blueprint machine, because they can't do that over and over again. You can put 2 beams into each other and then they can't do it anymore. But if you use the blueprint machine, then it should work just fine. And I think that's pretty neat. So when it comes to concrete, there is actually a little trick where you can make it look just a little bit more interesting. If you go to your color swatches and then take the custom one and you go to brightness, if you make that number 1000 or anything above that, it'll become pure white. But wait, if you do the exact opposite and say -1000, it'll become pure black. You can use this for all your checkerboard needs. The only thing, it does not work on concrete walls, only foundations and pillars. When it comes to round things, you're gonna need a center point. And from that center point, you can go out as far as you like. Here we have a 4-meter distance. You can use beams by going into free roam, putting them on the corner of your scaffolding up there. And then by using your center point, you can start making a circle. This is very repetitive, but you have to remember always placing your beam from the middle, or else it's gonna end up crooked. This was the exact method that we used to make the biodome, by using this as a scaffolding and then placing signs on top of it. As you can see, this is very straight. It's a really cool building technique. You can build a lot of stuff with arches, domes, spheres, anything really. While we're on the topic of rotating beams and pillars, the beams and pillars have 2 different axes they can rotate on. The pillar has an uneven, but the beams are even. The cool thing here is that they connect to each other perfectly. So if you want a straight pillar, you use the beam, and if you want an uneven beam, you use the pillar. It's super simple and it's just a really nice thing to know when you're building, so things line up the way you want them to. When it comes to corners on a small scale on your factories, they're not always that pretty because when you put two walls next to each other, they have a divot. The corners don't meet perfectly and that can look not so nice. So what you want to do is take a pillar, put it into free roam, and then put it all the way up in there, just like that. And then back to a normal mode and just zip it up. And it fits perfectly in the corner. I use this technique all the time. I hate seeing the bare corners or like the indents, so I like to put a corner on there. And the best thing is that you can paint them just like normal, you know. Technically you could use a normal pillar, but it sticks out a little bit. And I like the flush feeling of this one much better. When it comes to depth in your wall, the big concrete factory made out of foundations just isn't for me. That is too thick of a wall. It's like 8 meters. That's too much for me. My brain cannot comprehend it. So what I like to do instead is make a wall that is approximately 3 walls thick, because it's enough to put in detail. And that's still small enough for it to be, you know, a pretty decent wall. The thing is, you can do so many things with this. I like to hide my electricity in the wall. You can have more detail, you know, you can put depth in, you can put pillars in, but you can also have a different color factory on the inside to the outside, and it will not become a giant factory because it's still the walls we're using. And also you can make cool doors like this. Isn't that neat? There's no clipping here, it just goes into the side. And it's just small enough for, you know, your pioneers, so it doesn't look out of place. Granted, if you don't like the hole here, I like to put beams in there. For example, these ones. You just have to nudge them into place. It's not too hard. Like this. There we go. And do it on the other side as well. The metallic look of these pillars in particular kind of looks like the doorway's end, so it gives the impression that that is the door waiting there. It's like a little trick. So yeah, making your walls 3 walls thick instead of 1 foundation thick can still give you a bunch of detail. Oh, whoops. Oh, this one. Like that. And then. Wait. Come on, man. Like that. Nope. Third time's the charm. Hey! And with that, I just want to say thank you so everybody so much for watching. And until next time, stay excited. Ta-ta!